here with the Sacred Souls. So yeah, so like I was telling him, Sal, like I met you at the record shop and it like kind of blew my mind. I'm like, what the fuck? It just caught me off guard, like, because you were playing some fucking Heat, and I'm like, this guy really knows his shit. Like he's playing some stuff, even stuff that I have never even heard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, no,
like,
I think I might have. I don't remember if I brought my box that day. It gets slow, man. And sometimes I'll just bring my box and I'll just spin records by myself, all sad. You know what I'm saying? But other times when people come in, you know, I got a little stack where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna spin this. Hopefully they dig it and then they'll buy it. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, no, I was like, well, I don't really collect the oldies because that shit is like so fucking expensive. Like I have so many friends that they collect oldies and family members and you know, they all collect it, but it's like it's pricey, bro. Like that shit is expensive. I didn't even go to that section of your store. I'm like, fuck that, bro. Because I know like I want everything and it's just too much. And it's like one song, you know, it's like it's tedious. It's tedious. So but everything else I was like, I love like the classic rock and all the you know, the hip hop. I collect a lot of like the 90s hip hop. I love that stuff.
Well, that stuff too, man. That stuff gets pretty high in price.
Yeah,
especially
and it's hard to find. It's hard to like, well, sometimes. And I love like I collect like the 90s hip hop and the 90s like R&B, like all that like just like you know like all that TLC, all that kind of stuff. So I love that stuff. But it's hard. The R&B stuff is kind of hard to find. But you guys had like a really good selection there. Like I was like, fuck yeah, like this is great.
Excuse me.
No problem. Okay, so let me just kind of clear up some stuff with you guys. Who comes up with the art, by the way? You guys got like some really cool artwork. Who works on that? Is that a collective thing or just you guys?
My girlfriend, she's a graphic designer. She's designed our logo and merch and all the flyers we post on our Instagram and everything.
Big ups to Emily.
Yeah, dude, like the art is just so sick. Like it just fits. Like I'm telling you, man. Like I would say that like there's really no other group out there that I could think of that really just nails like every kind of element, you know? Because like me as a fan, like I love seeing like the artwork go along with the music.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I don't know, unless you guys know anybody that really nails that. I really don't see anybody. Like the videos are on point. They just match what you guys are playing. Like the artwork's on point, the music's on point. Do you guys know anybody that's out there that's even doing it similar to you guys? I can't even name anybody that's doing it like that.
I mean, I'm also like really picky, and I just want to make sure like the branding of the band and the whole like look is on point, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kicks ass, man. Like I love it. So did you guys, how many shows did you guys have before Bosco Man just kind of like reels it in with you guys? Like I seen an article that said like one show and he was like on it, like, let's go.
Yeah. He pulled up on our second show. We were out. I forgot where we were. Was it Orange County or?
Yeah, it was Orange.
Yeah,
Orange County.
Yeah.
Fullerton?
Yeah, around Fullerton. It's called 2J's.
Yeah, 2J's.
No fucking way. Dude, I went to 2J's. I seen some major shit go down, but I'll talk about that later. But well, just like this girl, like we called this girl Little Holyfield. It's like a funny story. Like, so the club was ending. We seen the Funk Freaks. We were like, I want to see the Funk Freaks. I hadn't really seen them. And so like we went over to go check it out. And then we walk out. Well, these girls started getting into it, but they threw that girl out. They just grabbed her and threw out the back door, that back door right there. So the girl came around, the other girl that was fighting came around, and then that girl just bombed on her. Like she came out, she didn't even expect it. I guess she thought the girl went home, but yeah, anyway, that's a stupid story. But okay, so you guys are playing at 2J's, and he just showed up or what?
Nah, well, we had been in, I got his contact info from a friend, our friend Diego from With Strangers. He, reached out to us, and he really liked our music, and he's the one that like got us to play that show at 2J's. And he was like, man, you guys got to send this to Gabe Roth. He's like, I got his info. You guys down? You guys are cool with me sending that shit to him? And I'm like,
because we didn't really know him. We didn't really know him either, you know.
Yeah.
So I just like, he was like, trust me, I promise. I'm not, he's like, I promise, I'm not gonna leak it. He needs to hear this, you know.
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, man.
But that was the same guy. Is that the same guy that's drumming for the Sinceres?
I think he did at one point.
He at one point, yeah.
Well, filled in, right? Like he filled in for that. I think because his name came up with Joey's interview, but I think he came up. He was a drummer. I thought that did like that recordium thing.
Yeah. That's him on the drums in that clip for sure.
Yeah. So he's the guy that put you into so dude, this guy needs to get some love, bro, because he pretty much like put this whole modern soul like on the fucking map, like in a way, you know.
Yeah, we keep in contact with that dude. He's a solid guy.
Yeah. Holy shit. And so you guys, okay, so he gets the track and is just like, this is like gold or what, or he's just like, hey, come out and come chill at the studio and see what you guys got.
This is what happened. I get a text from Gabe and it just says, give me a call. And we're like, oh, like what? Freaking out. And the day of the show, he calls me up and he's like, what time are you guys going to go on? I'm like, we're on in 10 minutes. He's like, nah, tell them to stall, like just to wait for like 40 more minutes. I'm going to be there.
I'm coming down to see you guys, man.
We just ordered a round of shots. We're like, ooh,
yeah,
take another shot. We're so nervous.
Wow. So then, like, when you guys get to so you guys get to the studio, right? And then is it like to fucking? I mean, how many tracks did you guys have at that time that were just like solid?
5 maybe.
Yeah.
6 maybe, like something around there, right?
Yeah, we were able to do like a 30-minute set.
Yeah, then we did a cover. We were doing a Ronnie Walker cover for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then how long does it take you? Well, you guys are recording on analog, so right?
Mm.
And is this like the analog, like the real fucking analog where this is it? Like you can't fuck up on this fucking verse and this is, or is it like digital analog where you can like edit a little bit?
There's no computers. It's just strictly tape. But
wow.
You're able to like punch in and like, you know, splice the tape and make some little edits here and there, but for the most part what you want to do is just make sure that you have a good tape, you know.
Yeah.
Rose was all tracked, like that was like a full band.
Mm-hmm.
Joey actually from the Sinceres, he played organ on it, and we had Brian from the Altons.
Oh yeah,
background vocals.
Yeah, and then Sinceres homies on horns.
Oh yeah.
So it's similar, like I talked to Joey, like I said last week, his interview's out now, and it's going to be throughout the week, but we kind of got into that where you guys are really the 3 writers, right? And then everything else is what, like Sinceres and whoever else jumps in or whoever you guys, do they hire those people for you, or you're like, hey bro, we need some horns on this one?
Well, it's kind of like the Motown deal, you know, the way that they did it. You know, every group has their own, you know, their own music and, you know, writes their own material, you know, but when you come to the studio, you might not have horns in your band, but you want to hear horns on the record, you know, and then Gabe will call up whoever he has in mind, or you need more singers, or you need somebody who, you know, who kills it on keys or whatever, you know, whatever the case, you know, and it's all pretty much in-house and people who are already cutting records with Gabe anyways.
So how much, I mean, that's obviously super powerful, right? Because that's what kind of got me with Joey. Because I'm like, I always felt like Joey, like the Sinceres, like they're like a touring band, you know. These guys are like on the road, they're freaking grinding, they're like eating like, you know, gas station Subway, you know, like. But meanwhile, they're really like it's just him and like, I mean, his group, but they're not really like on the road like that, you know. It's like a collective effort with friends and, hey, join this track, you know, hey, this. It's not like the old school band. Like you guys are kind of like an actual band, right? It's not like it's like you 3 together are together, but for him it's like, yeah, come, you jump on the track now and you do this and you do that. It's like, what? It's kind of like a different thing than most people usually see, you know. Because I was thinking they were like, oh, these guys are doing a bunch of shows and they're like the, you know, they're like Van Halen or something, like they're on tour. And the whole recordium thing, I was like, wow, these guys are fucking dope. But then he's telling me in the interview, like, yeah, I just did it like an hour before we cut that. Everyone's learning the song. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. They're all really like solid session players.
Yeah. So how much power does that give you guys? Like when you guys walk in that studio, like you're like, all right, I know I need some strings on this or something. And they're just like, okay, cool. This guy, we'll call this guy. Like how powerful and easy is that for you guys?
I mean, it definitely helps if we want to get creative with the tracks. You know, like right now we're doing it different though, since this whole COVID situation. We don't want to have too many people in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just us three. Like actually, just like for the rhythm tracks, it's just me and Sal tracking mostly everything on these recent tracks that we have. But
Yeah. When we record, it's pretty much just us, you know, and we'll have Jensine up, you know, tracking vocals, you know.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like Will I See You Again? It's Our Love. It was, you know, Sal was on bass for Will I See You Again, and I was on drums, and we're just trying to like picture the way the song would sound with like the rest of the instruments and the rest of the people there. But
Yeah.
it's just like
I guess I've been the residential vibraphone guy for the easy vibraphone melodies.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
And
Josh
all
is
those
always
tracks
killing it
too.
on the vibes.
Mm-hmm.
And then It's Our Love. It's Our Love. Same thing. I think we started tracking it just drums and guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and then went back vocals and filled it in. But honestly, I feel like it's just like whatever works, you know, because every song is like different. Every process is different for each song, and the feel's different, and you know.
Yeah. It's like scary though between you guys because fuck man, like I don't like I was talking to my cousin, he's a big fan, and he's just like, these guys have like no fucking bad songs. They have like fucking straight fire, like every song is fire. So and it is like I mean I can't think of a song that just isn't fire. But what goes into that? Like who's like the fire starter here? Who's coming up with like, you know, whatever bass lines and tracks and ideas? Is it like really a collective effort, or is it like, hey, I got this, let's work on it?
It's kind of a bunch of stuff. It's all in the above. Alex, I was just saying that to start it.
Yeah, I mean, I have access to like we record here at my house. I have like a home studio set up in my garage. And I have access to like, you know, I can record whenever, so that helps me out, and that usually just like I can just record something real quick, send it to the dudes, and if it works out, it does it, you know, it's just an easy way to create. And I'm always like writing songs every day, and sometimes we get together and write. Sometimes Josh has a song, sometimes Sal has an idea. It all depends on the mood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty much always, for the most part, demo first, you know.
Right.
Demo first, you know. Alex will send us an instrumental, you know. Josh send some vocals over through like an app, you know, or I'll go to Alex's. We'll try to, you know, write something out and another instrumental, and yeah, there's just a bunch of different ways.
And then well, Alex, how many instruments are you playing? Like what are you laying on these demos? Everything, or just like drums and bass, or
everything really? But like for me, I always start on the drums usually. Like that's how Rose started, just a drum track, and I layered everything over that.
Okay. Now I heard the Rose lyrics, Josh, came off a blanket that's like in the studio.
I have a spot blanket just using as like a, you know, soundproofing, and that was like probably like the first time we recorded together.
Yeah, I think it helped that I really liked that instrumental. I remember at the time Alex was like, "This thing," like,
oh yeah,
hella flexing, but he wasn't flexing. He was being honest, but it seemed like a flex.
I mean,
because I was like, "This is sick," and he's like, "This one."
With that track, like I recorded that instrumental in like 2018 before meeting Sal and Josh, and Sal was the one to say like, "Yo, we gotta do some shit with this track," and I was like, "Man, I don't know about this one." And
Sal,
yeah, this is a good one.
I was like, "Nah, we gotta use this."
Yeah.
I remember seeing. I think you posted a clip of it on Instagram, and I was like, "Damn, like, that sounds like an oldie," you know. It was a trip because I never, you know, heard any, you know, actual like lowrider sounding, you know, oldies coming out.
They weren't old.
Yeah, that weren't old.
Yeah.
I shared the sentiment with Sal that he said I instantly thought it was fire. I loved the change from like this kind of minor feel to the chorus getting big and like major. And so it was easy to write melody. I was already coming up with all these melody ideas that dance good with what he wrote. But then that blanket just was there, and I was like, it's easy. It's always easier to write melodies when you have like a basic theme of a song, because then just like a rapper would, your brain's going to try to tell a story and sing the melody as it comes past. And the better idea you have from the onsite, like from the beginning, like, oh, it's going to be about like a question to get answered, then it's easier to let the other cogs flow. But yeah, Alex wrote a banger instrumental, and it just, I think it was good that was.
Oh,
But
I lost him. Oh, he's getting like a text or something. But isn't it funny, like in music, like the track that you feel is like everyone just loves? Like,
I think
like
I think it's like that for the most part too.
yeah, like I used to be in a band like way back, like a metal band, obviously. But it's like the song that we like one of our first songs, we were like, man, this song's trash. Because like our first song, like, we didn't really we needed it because we needed to fill the set list, you know what I mean? But then like when we played it, like everyone was like, this is like the best fucking song you got. We're like, bro, it's like the simplest song. It's like, I mean, obviously your shit's not simple, but it's just like it just hits, like some people just, it's like, it's funny, like the song that you just think is just like whatevs is like the hit, but you guys got some fucking hits, bro. That shit is it's too good, man. I was telling Josh about like the love online. You guys feeling the love online, Sal and Alex?
Feeling the what?
Like the love online, just from people just like listening to your stuff, or you guys getting
yeah,
like
for sure. Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a trip. Honestly, like seeing how many people are into the music and watching our videos and supporting and buying, our merch and all that.
Fuck. And what about well, when I seen you in the record store, because like I said, like when I first heard you guys, I was like, dude, it was like impossible to get the 45. So I'm like, and you're like, it's not really selling that quick, or just like it's kind of hold on, I gotta let Josh back in. Here we go. Sorry. But I'm like, what? Are you kidding me, bro? Like this, like it's almost impossible to get that 45. But you're like, it kind of took forever to kind of come.
Well, yeah. What that was is the it was the pre-order. I think that was like the way that the pre-order went down. It was like you said, like the whole when the virus and the lockdown and everything, when all that happened in quarantine, it was kind of right in the mix of all that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people missed out on the pre-order. So when people started getting their records, a lot of people didn't have a copy. And that's what I meant. Like a lot of people weren't able to get their hands on a copy because they didn't they didn't do the pre-order. You know what I'm saying? And it sold out and yeah, it was just weird timing.
Yeah, because I remember telling a friend, I'm like, because my cousin, I think he did the pre-order, and then I was just messing with like a friend. I'm like, you have this record? And she's like, fuck no, I don't have that record. I wish I had that fucking record. And then she's like, there's no, I mean, it's like sold out or whatever. I'm like, oh yeah. But hey, I was gonna ask you too, as far as you guys doing it in analog and then releasing the 45s, like, is that just take longer to release than it would be digital?
Yeah, I think so, right?
It's a whole process,
Yeah, it takes a lot more time.
The mixing process takes a while. The mastering process takes a while. Then they have to send it out to the record plan, and that takes a while. So it's a more patient type of thing, But like with Give Us Justice, we didn't put that on the 45, and that was like a quick. We went to the studio, and like a week later, it was out digitally.
Yeah, it's just the process of actually getting a test press.
Yeah.
Hearing that, if you're lucky, I mean, most with us, I don't think there's been too many times where we have to send something back or if it's not mixed correctly, but there's that whole process, and if you can't get the mix right, then you got to get some more test presses. It needs to be mastered, so there's a whole whole process with cutting a record.
Wow. And then there's no way you guys are going digital, right? Hey, Josh. He was on and I lost him. But there's no way you guys are doing digital, right? You guys are like pretty solid on just doing straight analog. That's just going to be the formula.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it sounds best that way.
Yeah, it definitely sounds way warmer. Like I love like one thing you guys really nail too is like the girl vocals, like the backup vocals. That shit is on point. So who's doing that? Are you just having who's the girl that sings with you guys?
That's a Jensine Benitez. That's the homie. She's doing vocals on all those tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And
okay.
And on It's Our Love, and I think Will I See You Again too, we have Adriana from Sincere's.
Okay. Now is she coming in and just like, hey, I'm gonna throw my own spice on it. Here it is, or are you guys like, hey, just do this?
It's a mix of both. You know, sometimes we have an idea, and other times we just kind of let her do her thing. Like the ending of Will I See You Again, she like takes like a vocal solo.
Yeah, that's all her.
That was all her.
She has a very unique voice and singing style too, you know. So it just sounds good, you know, alone without even trying to get her to sing a different way or whatever. Like she just sounds great.
Yeah, I know she sounds really good. And then I was gonna ask you about the videos. Who's coming up with the concepts there? As far as like just where were you guys at of that one video? You guys look like you're a big bear or something like that.
Oh yeah, for Week for Your Love, we went
to
Lake Arrowhead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where's Josh?
That was a long night, man.
It was a real long night.
Yeah.
Went up to we started at I think 7 p.m. 6. It was like either 6 or 7 p.m. Up until 6 a.m.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
7 p.m. to 6 a.m. Fuck.
Yeah.
But they had us there at like 3 p.m. So
yeah, we were chilling. We were chilling for a while. You know.
Me and Sal had a little too much whiskey.
indulged in the bottle before even having to, you know, get the camera rolling. We're all like, "Oh yeah, we're here to do a video. Yeah, let's go."
Wow, it's fucking dope though. It comes out really cool. Like just the whole, it's like real dreamy, you know.
Yeah, it's a cool concept.
Josh definitely had to do the most work that night.
Oh yeah.
I love it. Who came up with like the storyboard or whatever for that one?
Hello?
Hey Josh. We can't. We keep like losing him. I don't know.
Can you guys hear me or what?
I can hear you.
I can't hear him.
I can't see you, but I can hear you. Yeah, who came up with the storyboard for that one? Like the storyline. Like to do it in Arrowhead. Who's the one that just like, hey, we're gonna do it in Arrowhead? Who came up with that idea?
The directors, Alex and Lewis, some dudes that reached out to us and they really fucked with Week for Your Love, and they were just like, yo, we have this whole concept, and
yeah, they had everything ready to go from the start.
Really?
Yeah, they were real committed to getting that whole vision out, and it came out dope.
Yeah, no, it came out great. But like, okay, so they just say, hey, we got this whole thing. We're gonna have it set up. Just show up.
No. Well, there it was kind of just like, hey, like, you know, we dig your song. This is what they pretty much like got together like a storyline for it, you know, before they even reached out, and they were just like, you know, this is our vision of it. Here's some examples, you know. They was pretty well thought out. So they sent us that, and we're like, damn, like, you know, you guys are already working, you know, which is cool.
Yeah. And then who gives like the green light? Is it you get who like all collective like, hey, we're doing this. This sounds really cool.
Yeah, I mean we all spoke about it and I thought it was pretty cool.
What I like about you guys just talking to you right now is like you guys are definitely a team right now, right? There's no one that's just like above anybody else. It seems like you guys are pretty much all on the same page, right?
Yeah. That's the way it should be too, you know.
Mm-hmm. I had a question for yourself. Oh yeah, so the name. I read an article that was your father's. He was trying to do like a 45 group or like a group like that, and he came up with that name, and then he donated that name to you guys.
Pretty much, man. It's kind of funny. Yeah. So my dad, which is 45 shirts. He makes those, those shirts with the 45s on the back.
Okay.
So him and Mike Umholtz, they were gonna start a like a collecting group or whatever, and they were gonna name it the Sacred Souls or something. And they had like a whole concept, they had plans and all that. And then we started, talking about starting a band, and they heard our demos, and he was like, "Well, that's a cool name." And I was like, "Damn, that is a cool name." And we're like, let's change it to The, and it'll be an even cooler name. So
Yeah.
he gifted us that name pretty much.
Now is he like, does he want royalty now or what? Like, I mean,
Nah. That'd be wild.
yeah, that'd be. No, it's so cool. And then, so you grew up with. I mean, are you a record collector too? I'm assuming, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Yeah, Josh, I don't think he can get back on. But so what I'm gonna do right now, man? Let's just wrap this up. Do you guys want to say hi to the fans? There's some people watching. Just if you guys want to say some stuff or what to look out for or what to go look for, you can tell them right now.
What do we got, man? I don't know, man. We had that video. We had everything was kind of building up towards that video, so I mean, thank you to everybody for checking it out and streaming it and sharing it.
Cool. Yeah, I love the video, by the way. It's really again, it's just been exciting to kind of see your guys' journey. Like it hasn't been like a crazy long journey yet, but it's like, man, everything that you guys put out is really solid. The visuals, like we talked about, the artwork, all that stuff is really hitting. I know a lot of people are just super excited. I have family that's super excited, friends are super excited for this interview. So yeah, man, like at the end of the day, I think you guys are really like just the hottest group in my opinion right now, just coming out with the modern soul and all that good stuff. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. The interview will come out February 1st. But we're gonna get on to the real interviews. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys later.
Thank you.
All right.